Hello everyone and welcome back to the Perfect French with Dylan. Today we are in lesson 44. We are going to learn everything about the letter P. For the book it's on page 78, 79, recording 87 and 88. It's crazy but we are getting very close to the end. So let's see the pronunciation. This one is easier than what we saw yesterday. Yesterday we saw N with 3 different pronunciations. Today we have P and there's only one pronunciation. Sometimes it can be silent, we are going to see that, but the pronunciation itself, there's only one. So, for your tongue, the middle of your tongue is going to touch the palate. The air goes through the mouth, and your lips are going to go from open to close, from inside to outside. This is the same thing than M and then B, same thing. So we have P, P, P. Once again, P. It's quite easy. So let's see a few examples. When we have P at the beginning, we have pourquoi, 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 par, 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 une piscine, une piscine, piscine. When we have one P in the middle of the word, we have ramper, ramper, ramper. La soupe, la soupe, soupe. Une loupe, loupe, une loupe. Now if we have two P in the middle of the word, we have the exact same pronunciation. Un apport. We just have the link here. Un apport. Apport. Un apport. So you remember what I always say, even though it's an easy lesson, take the chance to practice your pronunciation rules. So here we have a link between un and apport. Then the A, well it's a regular A. The two P pronounce P, we just see that. And then the O is a closed O, and we don't pronounce the T. Try to always practice, always be curious about the word you see. It's very good to just practice that every day. We have so many rules that you really have to practice them to remember them. More you practice them, more it will come naturally to you. Let's see another one. Une nappe, nappe, une nappe, nappe. And the last one, une grippe, grippe, une grippe. Now when we have P at the end, but this time the P is pronounced. We have top, top, stop, stop, stop. Le rap, le rap, rap, le rap. So here, remember that if there's a word that you have in English as well, if there's a P at the end, and we have the same word in French, we are going to pronounce the P. This one now is very interesting. When we have P, T in the middle of the word, we are going to pronounce P and then T. This is not an easy pronunciation. Usually we don't have that in French, so it's very rare to have two very strong letters, one after the other like that. Beside the R, such as mercredi, I mean, you know what I mean. But having a P and a T followed by each other, and then having to pronounce both, this is very unusual for French. So let's see example. We have un symptôme, pt. Okay, symptôme, symptôme, ptôme, symptôme. Next one, somptueux, somptueux, somptueux. Once again, somptueux. And the last one, dompter, dompter, dompter. Okay, once again. Un symptôme, un symptôme, somptueux, somptueux, dompter, dompter. So you see, this is very unusual for French. Having such two strong pronunciation one after the other is not very common. I mean, inside the word. So we saw when the P is at the end and is pronounced. Now we can see when the P is at the end and is not pronounced. So we have trop, trop, trop. Un drap, un drap, un drap. Un camp, un camp, camp. So I just said before that when an English word is the same as the French word, you should pronounce the P. It doesn't work for camp. We have a P at the end of camp because of camping, camping. That's why we have the P at the end. The same for drap. So we have drap, drapage, drapeau, etc. Always try to look at the bigger picture when you look at silent letters, especially as P, T, etc., etc. There's usually a reason why we have a silent letter there. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but still, there's a reason somewhere. And the last one we are going to see today is when we have M, P, T, and then we are not going to pronounce the P. You might think, well, we just saw the same thing and we pronounced it. I know. Let's see the three words and you will see why we don't pronounce the P. We have compter, compter, compter. Un acompte, un acompte, acompte. Un comptable, un comptable, comptable. So I don't know if you can see, but even with the English words, so to count, an account, and an accountant, so this is the same thing, they're all words from the same family. So they are not just random words like dompter, somptueux, and symptôme. Those ones, when we talk about money, about to count, accountant, etc., we are not going to pronounce the P. This is just how it is. I don't really have an explanation to why we don't pronounce the P, but this is mostly this family of words. So when you see something related to it, that means that we don't pronounce the P. And that's it for today. I hope I cleared up the things for you. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the video tomorrow about R. That one is going to be very, very interesting. So I will see you tomorrow. À demain.